Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Echo's Reloading Chamber. And we have special guest here tonight, um, Reloading and More, AD 1966, from the European island of Malta. And he's going to be talking with us tonight about what he does in reloading and shooting and a lot of things that he does and where he lives. AR, why don't you go ahead and get us started with the side chat and do your thing, brother?
Hey guys, appreciate having me on Echo as co-host. Good to see you, Reloading More and More. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. My pleasure. Yeah.
Hope it's going to be a good show, guys. So stay tuned. Good to see you all on the side chat. We got Andy out there, 79Z28, G23's with us. Mac Man, hey Mac Man, how you doing, brother? Hasbro, good to see you, Hasbro. Andre D'Angelo and Mad Sexy. Hello, hope you're doing good. And stay tuned and let's go.
All right. We are going to be getting more people as we get off of work here. I just go ahead and say hey to MacMin and G23, Hasbro, to see what they're all doing, and Mad Sexy. Yeah, okay. So reloading. What,
Yeah.
sir? So you're from the island of Malta.
Yeah.
The European island of Malta, and you do reloading. You have a YouTube channel here on YouTube, and it's a reloading and sport shooting and stuff like that channel. How long have you been on YouTube?
Well, the channel has been created, I think, 10 years ago, but I did absolutely nothing with it. And more or less around a year ago, I thought I'd start something on YouTube. Originally, I had a lot of, I had a good collection of ammunition, 2 of each, rifle ammo and old ammo and all that. So I wanted to dismantle some of them and have the collection as a complete round, as a dismantled round. So I thought, why not take a video of it? And first one, second one, third one, and then I had so many calibers and I had so many videos, so I started putting them up. And then some reloading clips came up, and then going to the range, it was easy to see different firearms, and I have some firearms of my own as well, so I could take videos of that. And as you know, then ideas start coming up. Recently, I got a chronograph, and I met more friends that have high-end equipment than I have. I mean, progressive presses, motorized presses like the Dillon and all those sorts of things. So it would be an overkill for me, but it's nice to see all this. So yeah, I mean, more or less I managed to keep a good flow of clips coming up, at least for the time being, and I do it honestly. I enjoy it. It's something nice.
Yeah, I see that you enjoy it, and just the way that you do your photography and your shooting on your channel. It's very uplifting to watch it. It's relaxing. You get to see what you're doing, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It looks like you're having a lot of fun.
I mean, and as you know, most of all my clips, with the exception of a couple, are without dialogue,
Yes.
which is it's sort of a challenge that I started, a challenge on myself, trying to explain myself and express myself without using words, which sometimes is not that easy. You have to go more into the details. But I mean, I like it. It's a little bit different, of course. I believe some people might find it boring without dialogue, but there is so many clips with dialogues. I thought, it's easy. Let me take the challenge and try to do it a little bit different.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
It's awesome to watch it too, because it's in the cinematography that you're actually telling your story.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I enjoy it very much. I used to do a little bit of 35 millimeter camera work back in high school, when I was 16, and enjoyed doing a lot of camera work and still work, and so I could appreciate it thoroughly. what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's pretty neat. I enjoyed watching them very much.
Great, good. I appreciate it. Good to know, really. Yeah, so that's how it started. Huh?
Yeah. So how did you get into shooting? Did you have a parent or a family member or a friend? What exactly? How did you get into doing it?
Well, my father still has a shotgun,
Okay.
because hunting has been, since at least for the last 8 years, there's been hunting of birds here. There's nothing except birds and rabbits. So I used to see my father with the gun, and I went out when I was young with him. Honestly, I didn't like a shotgun that much. I was always looking at handguns and reading about handguns, but it was absolutely illegal. You couldn't buy anything. It's impossible to buy a handgun until around 15 years ago, when the law changed, and then initially we were allowed to have maximum 10 weapons, and then they increased it to a maximum of 20 weapons, always for sport shooting. So any type of handgun, automatic revolvers, AR, AK style rifles, as long as they are not fully automatic, you can have it.
Oh.
And that's two type of licenses. You also have another license for shotguns, pump guns, and all those sort of things, and tactical shotguns. And once you get a collector license, which takes a little bit more effort, then you can have as much weapons as you like.
So basically it's done on a monetary scale. It's how much money you have is how much you can actually purchase, is what basically they've you can get into it as much as you want, as long as you have the checkbook to be able to afford it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. There's no questions. I mean, yeah, of course. Once you get your license to collect, or even better, once you manage, because it's a two-year waiting time. Once you manage to get your special license to collect, then you can own as much handguns as you want. You can even own fully automatic weapons as long as they are pre-1946. Or you can get any fully automatic rifle, whatever you like, as long as it's pre-1946. You're still left with one problem, because there's no place to shoot them. There's only one shooting range on the island of Malta at the moment that allows anything, that allows handguns and rifles. And you're not allowed to use anything larger than an AK round. So you can't use the 6.5 Creedmoor, for example. Even though I know people have it, they have to travel to Italy or use another range on the smaller island of Gozo, which is allowed.
So how would you get to the smaller island? Do you fly, or do you do by boat?
It's a 30 minutes ferry from here to the island. Okay.
Yeah. And they have other ranges there.
They have one more range there.
Okay.
But it's a 25-meter range. Yeah? So you can imagine, you can probably use the 308 bullet and throw it and still make damage. And 25 meters, really, it's not ideal.
Right.
But there is plans for improvement. I can confidently say in a couple of years maximum, we'll have another range which will be 80 or 100 meter at least. So
yeah, that'll be neat.
That would be a little bit better, Then you can buy a rifle and enjoy it, not just buy it and keep it.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Now, you said that you could fly to Italy as well
yes.
to shoot longer distances.
Yeah,
I know Italy has competitions. I've seen, a lot of competition work coming out of there with Beretta and with
Benelli.
Yes, Benelli
and Breda and all that. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
They're quite big, and they have their own weapons as well. They have Pardini, for example, which is a state-of-the-art weapon. Of course, I have friends, and I think there's a trip every month at least. They go there for a weekend. You pay, you have your own range. You take your ammunition. Still, there are restrictions. If you have to abide by the law, there are still restrictions. You can take a maximum of 5 kilograms ammunition, which is nothing, as you know. It's absolutely nothing for a 3-day trip.
Yeah.
You know, so there are restrictions. There are restrictions still, but people manage.
Yeah. Are you able to purchase ammunition in Italy?
No.
Okay.
Technically, legally, no. Let's say no, because the license you have is actually valid for Malta. It's not valid to buy ammunition in Italy, but you can transport your weapons to Italy and bring them back. No problems. You just have to get the paperwork and travel with them. I'm assuming now that people probably buy ammunition in Italy because you can do 3-day trip with just 5 kilograms of ammo, I guess.
Yeah, that is true. That's not very much weight.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
That's nothing.
I mean, that's if I'm not mistaken, that's less than 500 rounds of 9mm or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not much.
Mad Sexy's got a question here, guys.
All right.
What country is he from?
Malta. The island, the European island of Malta.
Okay, that's I say it's a small island in exactly the center of the Mediterranean.
Okay.
It's surrounded by sea. I mean, the island is small. It's 316 square kilometers. So that's all there is. It's more or less, if you have to imagine it, it's more or less 28 kilometers by 15 kilometers wide. That's all.
Yeah, that's not very big at all.
It's not big. Population 500,000.
That's neat, though. That's neat. You have the possibility of knowing a lot of people out of your town where you live. Yeah. That's...
Oh yes, I have relatives all over the place. And before my generation, I don't know in the States, but before my generation, families were big here, really big, with 12 children or 14 children. I mean, my father is one of 10, if I'm not mistaken, and my mother was one of 12 or 13. So I have endless number of cousins and uncles and aunts. Some live in Canada, some live in Australia, and some live here. So it's
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Australia is another cool place to live. My uncle, when he was in the Air Force, he was over in Australia for 2 years. He spent 9 months, 10 months in Sydney, and then another almost year and a quarter in oh my God,
Melbourne maybe or
Melbourne. I think it's Melbourne.
Yeah.
And because there's an Air Force base near there, and it's pretty neat. He used to do a lot of camping and backpacking. There's a lot of tribesmen out there that learn how to live out in dang near nothing out there, with the kangaroos and whatnot.
Yeah. I have not been in Australia yet. I hope I manage to go there. My father has been there 3 times actually.
Oh.
He's quite happy. He's there now, so he's enjoying vacation time with his brothers.
Oh, very good. Very good. So with shooting there in Malta, are there clubs and competitions?
Yeah. There is a new club for IDPA shooting.
Okay.
And also there is IPSC shooting. It's been here for at least 5 years. As you can imagine, they have to travel because you don't have too many places to train and too many places to shoot either here. And then we have more or less, I'm saying maybe 15 or 20 different clubs, which you enroll, they train you, you get your training course, and then you attend the shooting range in their own time. And they're not specifically IDPA or IPSC. It's more target shooting, it's practice shooting, it's slow shooting. Sometimes there are some reloading courses from people that have done it for a long time, so they try to train others how to do that. And reloading is getting, this year I'm surprised how many people are into reloading actually. So many are trying to reload, starting with 9mm and 45s. It's amazing. You can't find anything here. It's so difficult, believe me.
So yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like when you can you order powder?
No, I cannot. Absolutely not. I can order it, but they'll probably lock me in. Huh? No, I cannot.
So you can only purchase it from your local stores.
Okay. Yes, exactly. And I can purchase powder and primers from the stores. I'm not allowed to import those. And if I want, I can import empty cases, and I can import heads as well. But I need a permit for that, which is not difficult to get, and you will get it, of course.
Right.
So you can import those as well. But again, if you import those and there's no primers, as far as I know, at the moment, there are no small pistol primers. As far as I know, I mean, there are a handful of stores here, and I know all of them. As far as I know, there's no small pistol primers for at least 3 months now.
Oh, wow. What
Join the club. It's hard here.
Yeah, it's hard here as well.
What about the prices?
Are you guys familiar with?
Excuse me, Dave.
What brand names?
Oh, yeah. Look, when it comes to powders, I mean, Vitavori is great here, and then you have the B&P, Reloading Swiss, Fiocchi, Rodvale, Maxam, Voltan. So there, and primers, the usual primers, we have CCI, Cellier, Federal, Fiocchi, Moron primers from Russia. So you can, but as at the moment there are no small pistol primers for sure. And I'm hearing prices that are ridiculous. We used to buy a brick of 1,000 CCI small pistol primers for €30, which is around $35, I guess.
Right.
Now they're telling me it's going to be close to $100 for a brick of CCI small pistol primers.
It's 120 in my area, reloading.
It's unbelievable. I mean, really, it's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that we're seeing prices as far up as $150, $60 American for 1,000 primers.
Oh wow! No, it's and as look, we're an island, so as you can imagine, you have to rely on what the agents are bringing in, and if they decide the price has to go up. And honestly, prices are going up, not just on this, on everything else. As is in the US, I follow a lot your economy actually.
Yeah.
Especially when power speaks, like today. So I'm following and seeing what happens, and it's all over. What you have there, we have it here. We have the same issue with unemployment. We have the same issue with recession coming by. So prices are going up, and it's all over the place. It's not only here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that it's doing that. The entire world right now is seems like it is taking it in the economy right now. Very hard.
Yeah. I see people talking in the chat about the history of Malta, and there's a lot of history. I mean, we fought the Turks in the Great Siege in the 1950s. Sorry, not 1950s, 1500s. And I saw some comments about the George Cross, which the people of Malta got as well.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's a small island, but we try to protect our rights. I mean, not my generation. We're trying in our way, but our forefathers, of course, they fought.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you were in, you and your father were in on the ground floor with getting pistols.
Yeah,
Right when it,
I was my generation started getting
right,
pissed 15 years. So I mean, first thing I did when I knew the law was changing, I immediately went and joined a club and
right,
took a training course and took the police license because you have to be evaluated by the police. They test your mental ability, they test your um, safety know-how, clearing a weapon and how to hold a weapon, and they give you instructions how you have to keep your weapons at home, weapon in one place, ammunition in another place, and all that sort of things. And then I got my first handgun, which was a CZ75. I always loved CZ, so I thought I get a CZ75, the Shadow model. I still have
yeah.
that, and it's history from there. We started shooting at the army range at the moment. Then there was a private range that opened, and we started shooting there and practicing target shooting. You know, I learned as I go, like most of the people. And we were lucky. There were some old guys that used black powder guns, and these guys can shoot. They have absolutely aim, perfect aim, one-handed, long distance. They practice so much.
Wow.
And if you listen instead of talk most of the time, you start gathering things and do your best. And of course, there's always room for improvement. Myself, I know for me personally, there is absolutely room for improvement. I mean, it's always trying to close the grouping, but some days you close it, some days you don't close it.
Yeah, and I think that that basically everybody has got room for improvement. I don't
Yep.
think you ever stop learning until the day you
Yeah,
die,
yeah,
as you still learn. The lessons may not be as big, but that you still always learn.
absolutely, Dave. Yeah.
Yes. So that brings us into you shooting handguns. What type of rifles do you like to shoot? And you were saying that you don't have a lot of range where you shoot at as far
No,
as
we don't.
distance,
We don't.
but you still get to actually shoot just for functionality and fun.
Yes.
So, what type of rifles do you shoot?
Look, personally, I have a .22 rifle, which is a Sterling from the 1980s. Um, Philippines, it came from Philippines, and it's a good shooter for me. For 25 meters, it's perfect. Even 50, I tried it out in another range, which is okay. But most commons, of course, you get AR, all sorts of AR, German made, American made as well. Um, even though I don't own an AR yet, probably at some point I'll buy one. But we tend to exchange weapons at the range. So
Oh yeah.
you can try a little bit the AR today, you try the AK tomorrow. So if I had to buy a rifle at the moment, most likely it would be the Winchester Model 70.
Oh yeah. Bolt action.
Yeah, I've seen so much about it. I've seen so many people on YouTube and elsewhere talking about how great this weapon is. I mean, I that's probably gonna be the first for me. Of course, there's other brands, but I think it would be a Winchester for me.
Yeah.
I only hear good things about it. I don't know your opinion, but here at least I hear good things, and people say Remington as well and Marlin as well. But I have a certain feeling towards Winchester. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. It's the American cowboy gun was a Winchester.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm a 700 Remington man,
All right. Yeah.
but I like the 70. I like the Ruger. I believe it's the 77, the Hawkeye.
Mhm.
Uh,
Okay.
and then you got Weatherby, the Mark V.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but the Winchester, that brings back memories because we had a sniper in Vietnam. Last name was Halfcock, and he used a Winchester Model 70
Oh, I see.
and 30-06, and so that's got a little bit of story behind it that we know about it here in the States. Um, but so let me ask you this: can you build yourself an AR-15?
Yes, you can build yourself. It's not as easy as it is in your end. I've seen, for example, Gun Wild one built one some months back, and others built. It's not that easy, but I have a friend that actually bought a CMMG, CMMG, I think, AR rifle, and then he bought parts from stores and changed parts of it. But it's not that easy either, because every part is numbered. Once you register a gun, you're registering with the number, so you can just exchange parts as you please.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as it is at your end.
That's kind of cool because you can. I used to build ARs for a living and I used to repo and I built guns for a living for a little while. But I would, that's cool that you can actually build them. You can get the right license or permit to do that, and then you can put one together. That's kind of cool.
It is possible, yes. There are stores that bring parts for AR, and I know people buy an AR and then they start exchanging features and adding up and suppressors and so on, and not suppressors, compensators. Suppressors are illegal here as well.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you on that because I
Yeah,
know
they are
there's a
illegal.
lot of European countries that there are legal.
Which is stupid, in my opinion at least, because at the range it's ideal to use a suppressor, especially when you have a closed range covered in concrete and you have to stand near somebody with a huge rifle and without a suppressor. It's not.
Yeah. It's like a muffler for a car. That's
Yeah.
what I, consider the comparison to. It's like, would you want to be in traffic with a bunch of cars without mufflers? It would be loud. I mean,
That's a good analogy.
It would sound like the drag track. It would be like, you'd be like, man, it sounds like race cars are out here.
Yeah, that's true.
But so that's how I go about it. I'm like, listen, it's like a muffler. We want to be quiet so we don't bother people that aren't shooting. Basically, I'm gonna get a suppressor now. I'm moving up to Tennessee Monday, and I'm going to be moving to some land. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a suppressor. Fill out the paperwork and get all that started so that I can wait on it. But I don't want to aggravate my neighbors, and shoot them and make them mad. They hear gunfire all day long. They're going to be like, what are you doing over there?
Back to your question about rifles. We can have as much as we want rifles, and we can have calibers up to 50 caliber as well. So 50 and under, you can buy a rifle basically. If you can fork out the cash, you get it. It's not a problem. The issue is where are you going to use it? That's another thing. But people buy it, and people buy all sorts of weapons. I mean, you wouldn't believe. Some of them are amazing. It's incredible. So old handguns, old rifles. I mean, collection pieces ranging from 5 to 10 to 12,000 or more. So,
wow.
Yeah, some collectors like those things,
Oh yeah, I could definitely see the want, because if you could shoot it, well, you may not be able to, shoot it at full distance.
No. Of course,
but we have a lot of indoor ranges here in Florida, and 100 yards is as far as you get.
All right, that's good. Well, there is a shooting range belonging to the army, which is, if I remember well, it is 300 meters.
Oh,
not too
But
bad.
that's only used by the army. Huh? There's no civilians allowed.
Oh,
And
that's
it's in
not
an
good.
excellent place. I mean, it's facing the sea, so you're just walking downhill towards the sea. And they use it with their AK, and they are walking down and shooting from maybe 200 meter and 150 meter, 100 meter until they reach close.
Ah,
So they do some training there when they do, of course. But again, we consider we are an island, so our army is not doesn't match your army, of course.
yeah. Well, I'm in Florida, so we're a peninsula.
All right.
And we used to go out in our offshore fishing boats, and we would tie balloons to fishing string, and we would float them out behind the boat about 100 yards and shoot the balloons, and then wheel them in and tie more balloons on there and shoot them out in the water, out in the ocean. And my buddy, he every once in a while they would shoot one of the fishing strings, and it would start floating. We'd have to go and get the fishing string and tie it back onto the fishing pole so that we could keep doing it. And it was just a lot of fun. When you're a young kid, you go out there and you're shooting balloons and having fun. So I can understand the attraction now for the handguns because of the range.
Of course.
Yeah. Now, as far as auto loaders,
excuse me.
As far as automatics, auto loaders, do you guys get handguns then automatic, semi-automatic?
Yes, so I mean, the range is full of all sort of handguns. I mean, from American-made and European-made revolvers as well. I mean, yeah, I own several handguns myself and few revolvers as well. But the sky is the limit, and every brand is available, from the older models to the newer models. I mean, HK, SIG, Walter, Baikal, FN, Clog, all these are available, CZ. And then you have your revolvers, which you have in as well. I mean, Taurus, Smith & Wesson, and Chiappa from Italy, and Kimber, and Alpha Projects, and all that. So it's a lot. Everything is available, from smaller rounds down to 45, and sometimes you get a Desert Eagle at the range as well. So it's a lot of people have different handguns.
Yeah, that's really neat. I like the fact that you guys have the ability to get in just about anything you want. That's neat, and it's also a really cool comparison. Is like where you're allowed fully automatic weapons up until 1946. You said
something like that. Yes.
Yes.
Don't quote me exactly on that, but I don't have the law. But it's 46 or 49 or more or less that range.
Yeah. So we have about the same thing, but we have it in 80. It's 84. We can have fully automatic weapons, but we could have all the way up to 1984.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it gets us into a little bit newer stuff, but with that, you still get all the World War II.
Of course, no, we get the Thompson as well.
Yeah,
we get the Thompson in 45 ACP, which is it's a dream. Huh? I mean, an importer recently sent some pictures out. He had 10 or 12 pieces for sale. Fantastic pieces.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we get all those. I mean, not a problem. As long as you have the money, you can buy any weapon you want for the time being. I mean, and as far as I know, Malta, we're quite set compared to other European countries. I think Sweden can have one weapon, if I'm not mistaken, under the sport shooting license, and Italy have a limit of 8 or 10, more or less. But we don't have that limit. If you apply for the target shooter license, you get up to 20. If you want to continue collecting, then you get your collector's license and you can continue buying weapons.
Oh, that's neat.
Again, it's not just a competition of buying weapons. I mean, it's what do you buy, you know?
Right.
Maybe.
Now,
I mean,
what about leaving it to your son or your daughter when you pass on? As long as they have the license?
Yes,
they can inherit.
Exactly. They can apply the license before.
Okay.
If they have the license, you can of course give it to them before you die, or if you die, then it is inherited by them on their license.
Okay, that's
but
awesome.
If you end up, because I know of cases when they end up that there's nobody licensed in the house. The process might take up to 2 years before you can take the weapons to the children or to the brother or something like that. So it's ideal if somebody is already registered. It's easier.
Yeah.
I guess that problem is it will come eventually, but it will come eventually, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to make sure you're set up for it, and that your kids have all the paperwork they need addressed, so that you can, so you can have your weapons be inherited. That's awesome. It sounds like Malta is it's very open as far as firearms. It just seems like you have monetary restriction as far as you got to have the licenses, you got to have the money to purchase the firearms, and then the ammunition. Now, as far as ammunition, is that one of the reasons why you reload? Is because getting ammunition is expensive, or?
When I started reloading 4 years ago, it wasn't that expensive. I mean, I could buy 1,000 rounds of 9mm for $180 US. Let's say $200 US for 1,000 rounds. And when you reload, especially on 9mm, maybe you save 50%.
Yeah.
Let's say you save 50%. But apart from saving the money, it's the precision. I mean, when I started reloading, the precision in shooting is amazing. I mean, it improved day and night.
Yeah.
I mean, and once you start learning about the proper length and the best seating for each weapon, and the amount of powder and the type of powder and the crimping and all that, then every new batch that you do is improving. So for me, it's honestly, it's a hobby. It's a real hobby. It's something I do. I enjoy it.
Now, how long have you been reloading for?
3 years now.
Oh, okay. So
I started. I bought first. I bought all the equipment before I started. I started looking at the press. Then I started looking at gauges. Then I asked people that knew what I needed. I needed caliper. I needed this weight. And when I had everything ready, then I bought the materials. And then I said, okay, now I start. I called somebody that knew much more than I know today. And he explained how it's done, and I do test loads every time, which is something unfortunately not everybody does. I say at the range, it's not something everybody does, but I test different loads for each and every powder. And when I'm happy, then I
powder charges and different bullet seating.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's time consuming, but it's an advantage for the larger batches. So I do it. Yeah. I keep track of everything. And recently I started with the 45. I never loaded 45, so I started beginning of this year, which is so far is going great. I used my first batch was with single stage, so I wanted to see exactly and have more the ability to adjust. And once I adjusted the batch, now the next batch will be with the progressive press, because I know what I need. I know the length and everything. It's just a matter of setting the progressive press and then we'll go from there. But it's nice. It's something I enjoy doing, and the cleaning of the brass is something I enjoy, and preparing and all that, and it's nice.
Yeah, I found that the cleaning of the brass and all the prep stuff is kind of relaxing. You get like into a rhythm. You get into a rhythm with it, and you can tune everything else out and just go about your little your processes.
That's true. I tell you, I mean, I built my own tumbler, and I built the tumbler and started washing brass before I had the press. So one of the first jobs I did was a tumbler. I made sure I have a rotary tumbler. I bought the pins from the States because they were unavailable here. And I think I cleaned God knows how much, but honestly, I must have a lifetime supply of cases for 9mm for sure. To be honest, I don't need to clean it. It's so much.
That's awesome. Yeah. A lot of us have been picking up brass for years before we ever started reloading. They were like, it's there. I might as well pick it up, put it in a bucket.
Same.
Yeah. And that's very neat. People from across the world think the same way. Just like, I'm going to save this brass. If nothing else, you figure maybe one of your friends will get into reloading or something,
exactly.
and I'll get him to reload them for me. And then you end up learning it yourself, and you're like, oh well, this isn't as hard as I thought it was, and it's
exactly that's how it happened.
Yeah,
that's true. And David, I gave so many away, so many. I mean, I knew people are starting to say, "Don't worry, here you take this bag and use it." So, and 9mm for a long period of time, nobody bothered picking 9mm from the range. Absolutely nobody. So it was just a matter of picking them up and putting them in a canister, and that's it. Other calibers is a different story. Yeah, you're not gonna find a 45 case on the ground. Everybody picks them up.
Oh yeah.
Nobody leaves 45 or 308s or other rounds. People pick them up. It's only 9mm.
45s are expensive, aren't they? Because that it's an American cartridge and it's not shot all over the world like 9mm.
Yeah, they are very expensive. I mean, a box of Salyer and Bellot with FMJ is now, which is probably still cheaper than in the States. It's now $30 for a 50 case, but we used to buy it at around $22 or $23.
Yeah.
But I know $30 is still cheap because I see prices some on the channels that you have 40 or 45 for a case of 45 there.
Yes.
Quite expensive.
Yeah. 45 can get expensive, even reloading.
And cases as well. I mean, buying cases here, you end up paying a lot of money. Huh?
Oh yeah. From like guys that collect it and will sell it?
No, you won't find it locally. You'll have to buy it from Germany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's people in Germany that there's a lot of shooting going up there, and so there's extra cases that they sell. So you can buy maybe 1,000 cases, but still it's gonna cost you a lot of money. I mean, it might cost you $150 for 1,000 cases, maybe. I don't know, more or less.
Yeah, that's a chunk of change. It starts adding up quick.
Of course, huh?
Yeah, you start getting one of the little brass picker uppers, the little cage that you can roll over the brass.
Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah. No, you start getting people marking the cases with markers, making sure it's there. And there's even machines. There's even machines that you can have the cases go through, the complete ammo go through it, and it comes out with a circle of red or a circle of blue or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, there's markers. I've seen one actually. It was bought in Double Alpha Academy. You know this place, Double Alpha Academy?
Yeah.
They bought it there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
so
cool.
once it goes out of the press, it's automatically marked. That's a nice machine. I've seen it working. I'll eventually. I hope I get it's at a friend's. It's not mine, but I'll take a nice clip of it as well.
That's cool. And now, as far as reloading, do you guys kind of know all each other that do reloading as well, and you kind of get tricks and tips from each other, or is?
Obviously, yes, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
I know. I can tell you, I know two people that reload. I know a little bit more than that, but two people that I reload and I can trust for asking them, and what they say, it's sort of the Bible, because they've tried it. They've known that they have so many different calibers. They have, I mean, the latest equipment. If something comes out, they buy it.
Right.
I mean, recently I've seen a decapper, automatic decapper from Australia working, and also a roll sizer. You know, this machine roll sizing. So they bought a roll sizer, which is something quite expensive, but I mean, they're just looking at perfection. They want to have their reloaded rounds absolutely perfect.
Right.
So I asked them, when I'm in doubt, I ask them, and of course, then you start learning on your own as well. You know, I mean, once you're methodic and you do things step by step, you don't have issues. And of course, I know I'm doing things okay, because sometimes at the range I see people that are doing things the way they think it's okay, ending up with longer rounds so they don't close, with primers sticking out, with I mean, if you look at a case of 50, you would see it completely like this. Some are low, some are high. So you know, you can see, and you start asking questions. No, I don't have a gauge. I mean, it's not needed. Yeah, it's needed. You know, you need to at least have a caliper to check what the hell you're doing. You cannot just say.
Right.
So I'm lucky in that way, because I have two good friends that I can ask, and so far I had no issues with my reloads, and I think I reloaded last count was in excess of 16 or 17,000 9mm rounds with no issues so far. Luckily.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Yeah. Sounds like you know what you're doing. I mean,
And
yeah, safety is a big part of that, and if you learn the right way to do something, it's easier to learn the right way the first time than to learn something that is wrong and then have to
correct.
relearn it the right way and go back.
Yes. The biggest help, actually, if I have to really honestly, the biggest help I got from fellow reloaders was what to buy initially. That was such a headache for me. I mean, what gunpowder should I buy? What primer should I buy? Where do I buy the heads? I mean, and you know, if you buy the wrong heads or bad quality heads, then you have problems all through. And I've seen some companies from Italy where the diameter is completely it's not correct. I mean, it ranges from 358 to 350 on 9mm, so you end up with a mess.
Yeah.
But I had it perfect when I started. One guy told me, listen, you will buy these heads, you will buy this powder, you will buy these primers. Finish.
Yeah.
And that was perfect for me, because it was always a headache. You go on forums, you see what you have to buy, then you don't find it in the store. Again, for tools, I mean, there are so many tools you can buy, so many. But then there are a few that you have to buy. You shouldn't reload without. And for me, it was the same. They told me you have to buy this one, buy that, and you start with it. And of course, then along the way, I bought some other stuff. But that was great help to have somebody to guide you on your start, actually.
Yeah. So, what type of equipment do you use for your reloading?
I have single stage Lee breech lock, the small Lee press. That one, more or less, I use it just for test loads.
Oh, okay.
And I have a Challenger press, also single stage, which I bought and just opened recently. I use that. I didn't need it, honestly, but it was nice. I bought it, and it probably use it to reload some 45, just to make them a little bit more accurate and precise. But my main press is the Lee Pro 1000. It's
Okay.
It does the job. It runs perfectly. It wasn't running perfectly when I bought it. It had a lot of small issues like everybody else with this model. But now I have no issues with the primer. I have no issues with anything. I just put the dies and start. No issue whatsoever. Nothing. It can run through. If I had to run it a whole day, most likely I can run. Probably I can run 4,000 rounds 9mm in a day.
That's good.
If I run it all day, but I don't run it all day, of course.
Right. They what I've noticed is a lot of the presses have little quirks about them that you have to work out, especially the more advanced they are. There's some brand names that give you a little bit less problems than others, but it's all about the same when you get down to it. You got a little bit of tweaking you have to do to get your press or your equipment working 110%.
Yes. It's all like no. For me, I'm quite happy with the Lee. Of course, it's not the best press, but it does the job. It's okay. It does the job.
Yeah. And do you reload mostly factory bullets, or do you do any cast lead?
No, I don't cast. I wish I had some experience on that. I see Walter and CW, they are gods. And of course, there are others, but I follow CW on his, I call them lead experiences. Yes. I mean, you can hear him when you hear, you know that he's been doing it for such a long time.
Yeah,
he's know what he's talking about. It's more than a job. It's like passion for him. I mean, so
yeah,
this is nice, honestly. I mean,
especially
I wouldn't mind doing it. I wouldn't
Right.
mind doing it, honestly. I actually thought at one point to buy the whole equipment and do it myself. But for the time being, if I have to buy lead bullets, let's say 9mm lead bullets, they will cost me around $70 for 1,000.
Oh,
Which
that's
is not that much. Is not that much. And I mean, you would need the pot. I need the molds and all the other stuff. Plus, I need the experience, which will take me months. I'm not sure at this point if it's really worth it for me to cast my own bullets. Plus, you have the issue with lead. You will find lead, but you will not find the other. I think you need to mix lead and zinc. Is it zinc or antimony?
Tin.
Tin, yeah, antimony. Yeah, it's not easy to find tin in the quantity you like. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not sure if it's the right move. I know people do it. I know. I've seen a lot of 45 heads fabricated, but then again, they're not that expensive to buy. The head is not that expensive at the moment.
That's pretty awesome. So, what do you see yourself in the next 5 years on your channel? What would you like to hope to achieve or accomplish?
5 years. Let's see, 5 years. Well, I hope by 5 years at least I would have reached, let's say, 1 year, one time. Let's say if I can manage 3,000 subscribers, that'd be nice. At least, it feels more that when you're doing stuff, you're more people are watching. It's not just making it and people. It's nice to have some people watch what you do, and I learn a lot because I get so much comments coming in on clips, and some of the answers, honestly, I don't know. So I have to ask colleagues and say, listen, what about this? What do you think about that? It's so you learn so much, and the amount of emails I get once I put my email, it's amazing how many emails I get. People awesome. Wanting correlated data for 9mm, spreadsheets with 0.22 LR, quantity of powder. I mean, it's amazing the number of questions. So if you have more people, of course, it's nice. But then again, I hope that in few months or a year maximum, we'll have the new range coming up, and then people start buying more weapons and more calibers coming, and I can increase my my arsenal as well, so I can put new clips up. And I'm also hoping to get a new press if I manage to find one. I'm thinking. I'm thinking an RCBS, maybe this Chakra 7, it's called, something like that. RCBS Chakra 7. I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
And that seemed interesting. And I'm also in contact with Lee Precision.
Right.
Because they have this new press coming up with the 6-station press.
Oh, I have heard something about that. Yes.
I've been in contact with them. But the last email I sent, they didn't reply. They told me it would be available beginning of August, but so far I haven't heard anything, because I would like to have that one actually. It'd be nice to start with a new press and find all the issues and try to fix them. It's more of a challenge, you know. It's not just more of a challenge. And again, it's not easy bringing it from the States, but we'll see how we manage. I mean, one way or another, I'll manage for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure with everybody that lives over here that it's not going to be too hard to get it to you.
Oh no, of course I say that's not that. Sometimes I buy stuff from Numrich in the US, and they are very difficult to manage because they need a credit card from USA and they only ship within USA or Canada, so I have to send it to Canada to my relatives and then they send it down here. So I manage one way or another. If I need a strange part, I manage.
Right. Yeah. Well, you got another friend. So if you need something, you definitely talk to me about it, and I could try to find it for you as well.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Oh, no problem. You've been wonderful having you on tonight. Is there anything that you would like to include that I have skipped over or left out?
Honestly, nothing. I just want to thank you for having me here. This was unexpected, and I appreciate it. I mean, it's been 1 hour, and it time flew.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we got a chance to talk. I mean, it's neat being able to talk from someone from another country in another part of the world at another time. See, you're living in my future. It's Saturday morning there, right?
It is, yeah. It's 1 a.m. now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the shirt was appropriate for the occasion.
Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate you very much for having you on and you coming on the show and spending time with us tonight. I very much appreciate it.
Dave, thanks. It was nice, really. One apology to the chat. I wasn't able to answer anybody. So I see a lot of things going in the chat, but I'm not able to answer. So my apologies.
If you wanna answer anything, go right ahead.
No need. I'll look through the chat later and start looking at the people and start joining new channels.
Okay.
And I'll do that. For sure.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. If you have anyone that you want to talk to in particular and you would need to get an email address or something like that, just reach out to me and I'll be more than glad to find that person's email address, phone number, whatever you need.
David, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. I enjoyed having you on tonight and I appreciate it very much. I had a lot of fun. And AR, are you there, brother?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, well, why don't you go ahead and start running us up out of here and start talking with the people in the side chat, please, sir?
Yes, sir. Good having you on Reloading and More. Pleasure, man. It's a good show. Thanks for doing this, Echo. It's good you having him on like this. You guys check out Andy 79Z28. He's also the Zinc Master, and he's a caster, Reloading and More. Not only CW. Check out Walter Bunning. He's also casting for 40 years, I think.
Yeah, Walter, I've been on him, yeah.
And good to see you all. Let me scroll down here. Appreciate you all coming in the side chat. Got 28 on. That is good.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all for coming here to this evening. We got Andy 79Z28 here. Kingpin joined us. I'm here, of course. G23, MacMan Reloading. Hey, Mac, Hasbro. Hey, Andre D'Angelo, Mad Sexy. G23, Low Balling Outdoors jumped out. Info Bros joined us. Russell across the pond. Check his channel out, guys. I hadn't put a link in yet because the show's about to end. I did put a few in there. Put Reloading and More in there. Andy's. And who else? I did Quest accidentally, actually, but go to That's Quest okay. too. And got Broke Loader in here, Tactical FUD.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Sexy, I called. Reloader 762. Who else we got here? Hobbies Hobo. He's a pretty good channel. Check him out, guys. Mad Sexy. CNT Designs and Arms. He does some commentary and does 2A stuff. Check him out. Who else here? Russell called the Scott. I still want to say the Crazy Scotsman, but the Scottish American jumped in here earlier. He is actually the former Crazy Scotsman, so check him out. The Eagle Run 2-3's joined us. Info Bros, I called Hasbro. Good to see you, Hasbro. And Info Bros, good to see you too. Let's see, BS Bernie, how you doing, man? Chris from the 740 joined us. Good to see you. Who else? If you don't see my face, guys, it's because I'm relaxing behind this microphone this evening. I'm not going to sit here and stare and burn my eyes out on the screen. Got G-Webs joined us. Tactical FUD. Tacos and French Fries. Good to see you, Taco and French Fries. I've seen him before. New York Outcast joined us. Echo, of course, is up here in the box. Alaska One Andy joined us. Hal 9000 joined us. Russell, who else here? Hang on, bear with me, guys. I'm scrolling. Vanessa Kitty, Walter Bunning. It's good to see you guys. Let's see. Russell. Takes a while. It's been a long show. We had 28 on, I think, and still do. So, got a good show, Echo. Yeah. Curtis Long joined us.
Awesome.
Good to see you, Curtis. Let's see.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something real quick. Everybody out there, CW, our good buddy, had a mild heart attack and had some bypass surgery, and he is home now. Mm-hmm. So he's recovering, and everybody keep a little an idea out there for him and a prayer. When you get to doing your prayers tonight or the next day, and let him be part of those. Still needs a lot of support from us because he's healing, and it's sore when you get your chest cracked. So
absolutely, I got a text from him this evening.
Yeah, I did too.
Hope he does well. Yeah, pray for us, CW. Prayers go out to him
right now.
Yeah, good. Hope you're hanging in there, CW. 67 Rebel, Hasbro, I called. Let's see.
If you guys get a chance, tune in to Chris's show this Wednesday night, beginning Reloading on Chris from the 740. And our movie for the week, there's two of them. 12 Strong. Now, these were on Netflix. They may be on Amazon. I'm not sure, but 12 Strong and Lone Survivor. They are both military flicks, and you will like them. They're good movies, well written and well acted in, and pretty good movies. Just wanted to get that out there to everybody. And everybody have a really good evening tonight. Is there anything you'd like to leave us with, Reloading and More?
I wish you a good night and happy weekend. And it was a pleasure being here, Dave.
Good to have you. Let's finish this roll call.
All right.
Appreciate you coming here, Reloading. Great show, man.
Thanks.
Info Bros, KFW has joined us. Curtis Long, D-Dub D37. 37, excuse me. Vanessa Kitty, Curtis Long. Let's see who else. Hope you're doing good, Vanessa. Russell across the pond. Hasbro, I called. Reloading and more over here. He was typing tonight. Daniel God is my judge, joined us. Good to see you, Daniel. Vanessa Kitty. Who else? Tim S. joined us. Good to see you, Tim. Reloader 762. Hal, I called. Tactical FUD. That's it. Yeah, think about CW. Check out all these channels, guys. And we appreciate you being here tonight.
Yeah, and tune in to the Georgia Shooting Network coming up next in about 45 minutes or so. Jamie, appreciate you guys coming by there, and so would I. Tune in up there. And on that note, we're going to get out of here and say goodbye to everyone. Everyone have a pleasant evening and a really happy weekend this weekend.
God bless. Catch you on the next.